All right. Good morning, everyone. If you're watching this on the replay, then you're seeing this right away. And what I'll be doing here is waiting for everyone to come in that is going to be attending here our Sunday morning coffee talk. And I've been really trying to make Sundays more on a positive mindset, feel good type of session, because I think it's important. And today I decided to title this Positivity. I believe that's what I titled it. Let me go back and double check. Yes, spreading positivity is what I was aiming for. And then let's lift each other up. I think a lot of times we don't realize the power in helping each other or lifting each other up. And in today's times, or in the times that we're living in right now, with everything that's going on in the world, I think it is more important now than ever to really just try to help each other in the best way that we can. And that goes for if you're in business, and if you're watching this and you are in business, well, that means, maybe your VAs, your virtual assistants, maybe it's someone that is working for you. Maybe it is your customers. So at this point, what I want, for you to kind of take away from what we're going to talk about today, and I don't really have an agenda, to be honest with you, other than I want to bring to the surface today that we should be thinking about how to spread positivity. And that doesn't mean that we have to be out there and, maybe your way of doing it is to go out there and protest. If that's your thing, then go for it, right? I'm not going to judge anyone for doing anything. I think if you're doing anything, do it from the heart. And do it because you want to see a change or you want to see positivity, right? And I think it needs to come from a positive side, not a negative side. Like, we can look about all of the different things that are happening and all the negative that's happening in the world. But I would like to focus on what can we do to shed some positive light on this? Is this something that is going to bring awareness to what has been there all along? Right. And that's my hopes, is to be able to now have this move towards a more positive and just a better direction for everyone. So that's kind of what I wanted to share today. And I just wanted that to kind of be a seed in your head, as when you're going out and you're either communicating with people. And again, we're in COVID-19 too, right? Like, we got that we're dealing with. But how do you stay positive throughout all of this stuff? And I think it comes down to, number one, surrounding yourself with people that are positive. And I would hope that this here would be that little group for you, right? That would be that little, the Take Action crew would be the positive crew, right? Where we can go out there and we can feel good at what we're doing, but also not focus on the negative, right? Because we can watch the news, we can see all of the bad. How do we turn that into a good? What does that mean? And to some people, it might mean just being a better listener. That could be a positive thing, right? Because maybe by you injecting all of your opinions and everything, that's not helping, right? Maybe it's just being a good listener. So right now, me personally, with this current situation, I'm literally just listening and observing and seeing what can I do that will help me be more educated. And then from there, what can I do to better serve? Like, that's all that I feel I'm capable of doing right now. And that I think is the most benefit to all of us right now, is to be able to be a great listener. And it doesn't matter if we're if we're in our relationship, being a better listener, that's being positive, right? Because it's injecting positivity, because what they're doing is they're either venting or they're expressing themselves, right? Be a good listener, right? That then could help that person feel either as they've been heard, positive, right? Versus constantly, injecting our thoughts, our opinions, right? That's why you guys have probably noticed I do not inject my opinions all that much when it comes to like politics, religion, like any of that stuff. I don't do that. And it's for a reason, because I believe that just because people have certain beliefs, or just even opinions, it doesn't mean that they're right or wrong. It's just what you believe, right? Now in business, I might be a little bit more vocal, but it's just different, right? So anyway, I have my coffee here today. So this is a coffee talk. And those of you that are joining me know that sometimes I need to be reminded to take that sip of coffee. So if you want to do something positive for me today, remind me every now and then. All right. Let's see who's jumping in here now that I've been rambling. Karen, what's up? How are you doing, Karen? Ashley's in the house. Good morning, Ashley. Good to see you. Justin, of course. Salama, what's up? Beryl's in the house from Australia. Beryl, I've missed you. I haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully all's well. James in the house. What's up? Derek's in the house. Atlanta, Georgia, representing. Let's see here. Kate, good morning. Definitely use my Sundays to plan for the week. Mentally, physically made several high protein meals for this upcoming week. I do feel overwhelmed with all of the things to do for building my brand. Breaking it down today into bite-sized pieces, chunking it down. Now, Kate, let me ask you something. Okay, you doing all of that stuff, the chunking it down, I would like to think that came from one of these talks, or that it came from something that I'd said in the past, because I say that all the time. So many people get overwhelmed with what we have to face moving forward. The one thing I want you and everyone else that is either here live or watching on the replay, okay, or even a month from now, I don't care when it is. It's really, really important. We need to, number one, take care of this, our mind. Okay. We have to take care of this, our physical chassis, if you will, our body. Right. And so I think a lot of times that stuff gets overlooked because we think the other stuff needs to get done first. But we need to be mentally clear, mentally focused and positive about where we're going. And a lot of that also has to do with just taking a nice walk, right? If all you do this week coming up, install time to take a walk, right? What I've been doing these past few mornings is, and I hadn't been doing it in a while, and that was because, well, there's a reason for it. I'll tell you that reason in a minute, but I've been doing hill climbs. I live in a great neighborhood that has a lot of hills. I live on a golf course, and there's a lot of hills. Lots of hills. There's this one hill that whenever I walk it, whenever I come up it, I'm really winded at the top, and I'm in pretty good shape, but it's a really, really steep hill, right? It kind of winds around. My wife and I'll do it every now and then together, but I was doing it for a while. And I felt great because I would get so much more, I guess, I'd get more of an exercise rush, if you will, because my heart rate got up. Even though I wasn't running, it's easier on your joints and all that stuff too. But I stopped doing it because we have a coyote issue here every now and then. And it was early in the morning. I mean, I'm walking 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's dark. I got a flashlight, but I'm like, I'm not going to go down there. Coyotes, I don't want to deal with them at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's dark. So I decided to move that until it got light out earlier. So now when I go walk, same time it's light out. It's pretty light out. So then I'll just go now. And I said, I'm going to start doing that. So this week I installed that into my morning walk, my morning routine, and I love it. Right. So that never changes. Right. So I think that if there's something I can give you guys to really give yourself more positivity in your life, so you can then carry that out in the world, is to take care of yourself and create something in your life, a routine that you will not ever stop doing, right? That's just normal. You guys know I mentioned this by reading The Tiny Habits, that every morning I'm also doing push-ups, but not on the ground because I got hurt once doing them right as soon as I wake up. So what I do is I lean up against we have a long 2-sink like vanity. It's got like a granite top and stuff. And so I do 50 push-ups in the morning. Like as soon as I get out of the shower, I'm ready. I'm like, okay, before I go out in the other room, I'm going to do those push-ups. So I do 50 against the counter. It's easier on my neck. I've been doing those every single day since I read the Tiny Habits. And that's something else that I feel good about. It makes me feel good. So when we do that stuff, and I don't know how I got down this rabbit hole. Oh, just because there's a lot of things that we're doing, right? Like you were saying here, Kate, that mentally, physically, you made several high protein meals, which is great, right? And you're getting prepared. So one thing that we want to do is we want to prepare ourselves mentally and physically. Okay, how do we install that in our day? But then how do we plan like you did, Kate, which I think is spot on. I'm so glad that you said that you planned out your week. I was literally just doing that before I got on here. I sit down generally for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and I plan out my week. What is everything up here that's been swirling around that I got to do? Boom, I dump it down. I even made a Sunday little Scott's got to do around the house list today because there's been four or five things that I've been wanting to do that I haven't been doing. And the reason why is because, well, I say, I'll do that tomorrow. And I'll do it tomorrow because it's not written down. It's not in my schedule. So I said, you know what, Scott? Sunday, today, you're getting those 4 chores done, right? And it's actually relaxing for me. I got to go outside. I'm going to hose the deck down. I'm going to wash the windows. I'm going to do that stuff, right? Because it actually, it gets me out of the norm. So yeah, and I'll be outside. I'll be able to hear the birds. I'll be able to, look at the pond, and you know what I mean? Like, so we have to do that stuff, but you do need to plan. So anyway, I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole there. Gio, good morning to you, my friend. What's up? Derek, I talked to my daughters to see what they think about the change. The young people want to eradicate racism and injustice and stop the police from attacking Black people. Yeah, I think that's great, Derek, that you are talking. I think that we need to do that as just people in general, but with our kids, I think it's really important to understand what is happening. And I do believe it starts in the home. I do. We can talk about like what we were raised as and what, my father was raised as and all of that stuff. And we can go down that road. But I would say, like, what can we do? It's almost like when someone's an alcoholic and they're raised by an alcoholic and they were raised by an alcoholic and they were raised by an alcoholic, where do you break the pattern, right? And I'm big on that. And I think we can all do it ourselves. But I love it that you're talking to your daughters. Jessica from Amsterdam, what's up? Thank you for stopping by this Sunday morning. Beryl, that's because it's 12 a.m. in the morning. Oh, that's right. But Justin's here. Justin's been here every single day, I think. That's funny. Derek, watch out for the coyotes. They are dangerous. Yeah, I know. Actually, funny story. Well, not even a funny story, a serious story. It's funny now, but when we first moved here, we used to let my little dog Brody out the front steps, and he was down the front steps. We seen him out there, and he was kind of like a little off, kind of like standing a little standoffish. I look over, and there's a coyote literally about 2 feet from him, head to head, and he didn't bark, he didn't do anything, and I went out and I yelled, I'm like, get out of there, and scared the coyote off. But that coyote could have grabbed, because he's only about 35 pounds, could have grabbed him, took him right off. But yeah, they're no joke. Justin, I managed to attend every coffee talk, and I'm from Australia too. Yeah, Justin, you say, you tell her. Salama, sip time. Oh, thank you for that. I got something I want to read for you guys too today, out of my little book here that I read every morning, by the way. So I'm going to do that. Let's see here. Okay. Gio had a question here. We'll get to that in a minute, Gio. All right. Let me give you a little bit of this. All right. This is my little positivity book. Encouraging quotes and messages to fuel your life with positive energy. Stay positive. It's John Gordon and Daniel Decker. John Gordon, I just recently had on the podcast, who wrote The Carpenter and The Energy Bus and a bunch of other books. I'm actually reading the other one. I believe it's Training Camp, it's called. Great little book. It's got basically each page has got something that you can read and take away. So today I read this one. I wanted to share it with you. You are here for a reason. You have a purpose. You are meant to live and share. Okay, let me read that again. You have a purpose. You are meant to live and share. What you think about matters. Your thoughts help determine your reality. Let me read that one more time. You are here for a reason. You have a purpose. You are meant to live and share. What you think about matters. Your thoughts help determine your reality. So whatever we're thinking up here can become our reality. So it makes sense that we probably should make sure that we got good stuff happening up here, right? Positive things happening up here. So I think it's really important to understand that we are what we think. Our results are what we think. We manufacture our results in our head. It has to start here. And then from there, it comes out into action, right? I can plan to build, a shed, but I got to actually put it together and build it, right? So you need to put the right ingredients in order to get the right meal or the right recipe or the right result. So it's really important that we do that. And again, that's why this is so important, I feel. Okay, so let's see. Salma says, I have a morning routine for my mind, body, and soul that grounds me for the rest of the day. And Maisie's going to bark at that. No coyotes, by the way, just someone walking by. Okay. It makes me less reactive to what happens for the rest of the day. So I love that because the morning routine does do all of that. And part of that is your mind. So I love that. Thanks for sharing that. Jessica says it's 4 p.m. here. Well, that's not that bad. That's good. I've got a hi, Scott, from a Facebook user, which I don't know who it is because for some reason it's not letting your profile show. Let's see. Salma, does your weekend routine differ from your weekdays and how? No. The only thing that it ever does, the morning does not change at all as far as up till about 9 o'clock. It's basically the same. The only time it will change is if I am not home, right? If I'm not home, then it can change, right? So that's the only time. That's the only time. But no, it does not differ at all. All right. Let's see here. Move that out of the way. Let's go back up to Geo real quick. All right, Gio, I'm going to answer this, but typically our Sundays right now, not getting too businessy, but I'll answer it just because you're here. Scott, I have 2 different products and 2 different niches. Should I combine those products into one online store or should I keep them separate? Well, if they're not in the same niche, I would not probably keep them in the same store. I'd want it to be, it's kind of like, oh, I sell bass fishing gear and then I'm going to sell knitting accessories. This doesn't make sense. But Gio, you're in BCA. Post these in Brand Creators Academy, and we'll make sure we get them answered for you. Let's see, Kate. What time do you get up in the AM? Typically, right now, I've been consistently getting up between 5:45 and 6 o'clock. That's my little threshold. And the reason why I say that is because what I'm doing is I have an alarm that's on my phone. Which I try to keep my phone like away from me. And, this way here, it's, not a distraction. And I don't look at like text or anything like that in the morning. But I have an alarm. It's called Sleep Cycle, I believe it is. And it gives you a window that it starts to wake you up depending on your sleep pattern. So it gives you about a half hour. And generally for me, it's always within that 15-minute window. So I'm going to set it that I want to get up no later than 6 o'clock. And then it might start waking me up at 5:40. And then what it'll do is it's got a really light melody that kind of starts to ramp up, but it's very soothing and it's nice. So that's what we do. Or I do, I should say. And then I get up before everyone else in the house. I also do that by design. If everyone got up at 6, I'd get up at 4. Just because I want that window of time. I like my time, not to be selfish, but I like that silence. I don't talk, right? I'm just listening to my thoughts. I might be, if I'm on my walk, I'm either going to listen to a podcast or I'm going to listen to some of my music from back in the day, because that kind of brings me back to a place of peace. Even though it might be rock music, it's just kind of like, oh, I remember that song from 1992. Van Halen, Pound Cake. Great. That's fun. That's a cool song. Right. And it kind of brings me back to my childhood and stuff. Let's see. What do we got here? Karen, how much do you walk in the morning? Is it miles or for time? It's mainly time. I used to do like steps. I used to be like, okay, I want to have at least 4,000 to 5,000 steps on my first walk of the day. But then I found that I'm typically walking for 30 minutes. So basically I will leave the house by 6:05 ish. And then I'll get back here no later than 6:30. So it's typically around 30 minutes. It would be a good rule of thumb. But now that I'm climbing the hill, it's actually a little bit more exhausting because I'm climbing that part of the hill. And it's not like a long hill. I mean, I might make the hill in like 10 minutes. I go down, which when you're going down, it's literally steep enough to where I'm putting on the brakes. Like I'm going down and I'm like really working to kind of make sure that I don't go tumbling. And it's all paved, by the way. And then from there, I go over this little bridge for golf carts. And then I go to the 15th hole on the golf course, that there's a flag there. And there's the ball things, that you wash the balls there. And then that's kind of like my marker. I go there, I turn around, I come all the way back, cross the bridge again. And then I start making that climb. And that climb lasts for, like I said, about 5 to 7 minutes. Get to the top, I'm winded, and I'm like, whew, that was good. And then I start coming down and I start getting my breathing back. It just gives me a good just burst of energy. So I really, really love that. Derek, do you use any mind map tools for planning personal and business? In business, I do. Personal, no. In business, I use one called what is it? How do you pronounce it? It's like Lucid, I believe it is. Lucid Charts, I believe is what it's called. But basically, it's just a drag and drop type box, and you can draw arrows and stuff like that. But honestly, a lot of what I do is on paper. I'll just map it out on paper. I like using a pen and paper. It just, I don't know, feels good. But I don't really get too crazy into mind mapping a whole bunch of stuff out. I've got a whiteboard over there, which is about 5 foot by 4 foot. It's a glass whiteboard. I draw on that. I doodle on that. So yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, Gio, no problem. Yeah, just post them in the BCA group. How long do you go on your walk? I just said that. Do you follow a special diet? Right now, I follow a diet. I don't even call it a diet. It's just what I eat. I am really into the high fat diet, but it's really, really simple. I keep it really, really simple. But last night, I did kind of cheat. I had some pizza last night. But I only do that about once every, I might do a cheat meal every like week and a half. And that just keeps me where I don't feel like I can never have it. So I typically will do, I always intermittent fast. So I haven't eaten yet today. I won't eat till about 1 o'clock. So I do that every day. The only thing I have is the Bulletproof, which, by the way, I should probably take another sip. All it is just basically coffee with grass-fed butter in it. And the first cup always has MCT oil. So that's all I have. I have 2 cups of coffee before I ever eat. I eat at 1 o'clock. Yeah. So, and my diet really consists of just all whole foods. And just a lot of broccoli. I eat a lot of broccoli, cooked in butter, in the good butter. A little bit of Himalayan salt, a little bit of pepper, usually eggs for lunch. And I used to always think that you couldn't eat the egg yolks because they're high in fat and cholesterol and all that stuff. And I was educated on that And for me, it just works out better if I eat it all. It's just better. There's more nutrients and stuff in it. So usually 2 eggs, again, sauteed and or cooked in butter, and then over the broccoli. And then if I had something for dinner as far as a meat goes, like a chicken or maybe ground meat or something like that, which is all grass fed and finished, I'll just add a little bit of that to it. Avocado, that with it. Yeah, that's about it. And then I have a shake for like a mid afternoon snack. I sit probably around 3 o'clock, and that's I drink Shakeology from Beachbody. I've been having that for like 5 years. So there's that, and then I have regular peanut butter inside of that, like a natural peanut butter, a frozen banana, half a banana, and then ice cubes, and then almond milk. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much my diet. And then when I go off the rails a little bit, I'll have a little bit of pizza because I like it. I love pizza. I love Italian food. I love ziti. I love spaghetti. I love all that stuff. I don't have it, but I love it. The one thing that we do have around the holidays is lasagna, because I love lasagna. So anyway, that's what we do there. Let's see. Oh, do you still use your mood ring smart gizmo thing? Oh, yeah, I'm not wearing it right now. Actually, and I got to reach out to those guys. My battery on it doesn't even last through the night. So I need to get that fixed. That's one thing I've been saying that I'm going to do, and I haven't. But I was wearing it for at least 3 or 4 months. It was great. And then I just noticed that the battery started going. So I gotta fix that. But yeah, I will be wearing that. I do love that. I like it more for the your sleep. I like it for seeing my sleep patterns. Beryl, I get up between 5 and 5:30 a.m. with no alarm. Wow. Even that you're up right now, you'll get up that early, Beryl. That's crazy. I'm like that though too. I'll get up even though I might be tired. But that's why I try to get to bed before 11. Bullet sip time. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's see. Beryl, AM quiet time is the best way to start any day. Yes, it is. And you know what I love too? I've been trying to be very aware of this, is I'll just listen. And we've got so many birds and so many noises. We had a frog last night that I almost had to go outside and try to figure out where this thing was coming from. It was almost so distracting. I almost couldn't fall asleep. It was crazy loud because we have a pond near us, and we also have like a little stream that's like a man-made stream that's in our backyard that's near our pool. And I know there's bullfrog, around there. So I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is going to, but I love to listen to the nature in the morning. It's just, it's really peaceful. What time do you start your workday and what time do you end? The start time is generally between 8 and 8:15. If my daughter is attending school, it might be a little bit later, maybe 8:30, but usually 8:30. And then from there, I try to stop. I say try because sometimes that's not always the case, but a lot of times I will try to be done by 3 p.m. That's the best scenario. But if I'm working on a project or something like that, I may need to be on a call. Or if I have an interview of a guest that may only be able to do, because they're West Coast, they might only be able to do 5 o'clock their time or something, and it's 8 o'clock here, I would do that, but I wouldn't, let me just take that back. I would not do it if it interfered with my initial calendar of family events. I build my work schedule around family events. Like that's it. If we have something planned, it gets locked in and everything gets built around that. Everything. Now, right now, not a lot of family stuff going on, except for, maybe playing some cornhole with my son, which we've been playing the past couple of nights. And I've won both matches. Actually, we're doing like this, we play best 2 out of 3. And he's pretty good too, but man, I was dialed in last night. Dialed in. What do you do for fun? Yeah, I play cornhole right now. Cornhole. I used to love horseshoes. I have played a round of golf here. This year, I'll probably go again, maybe even this upcoming week. They're doing it where you have to walk. You can't use a cart, and you only can do it like in intervals of like 30 minutes to keep everyone away from each other. But yeah, play guitar when I schedule that in. I want to play more, but yeah, that's those are some things that I do. Scott is old school. I am old school. very much. I almost start sounding like one of those guys that I used to say, man, that guy is just an old fart, because I'm just like, I love the technology, but I don't love it that we're losing connectivity. That I don't like. I think the old school of doing things and the handshake offers and things like that, like, yeah, I do believe like we're missing that. I'm not sure if our kids will ever get that. Right. Like I had two girls yesterday. Like I said, in my backyard, I've got a pond. It's large though. It's a pretty good sized pond, and people come in, they drop their John boats in, they go fishing. Right. And I looked down last night and there was two girls fishing. One was probably around my daughter's age, probably 12, 13. And the other one was probably, I don't know, maybe 10. And they were down there and they're fishing by themselves. And I yelled down to them. I'm like, I go, hey girls, how you doing? And they're like, oh, good. And I go, what are you guys using for bait today? And they go, oh, we're just using worms. And I'm like, really? Are you guys putting them on yourselves? And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, that's awesome. So I love seeing that, right? We've got kids that come down here and just go fishing for like 6-7 hours. And I'm like, man, I remember playing Manhunt when I was a kid and just going out in the woods and just getting lost for the whole day. We didn't have a phone to check in. We didn't have a pager or beeper or anything like that. Our parents would say, come back in a couple hours and check in. That's what we would do. We would just go all day and just play. Now it's video games. Now it's, your cell phone. Now it's like, you can't take, a minute. It was funny. Last night I was watching a little bit of a Jerry Seinfeld stand-up, and he was like, you ever notice how people, they have their phone in their pocket, or they'll have it in their, maybe a pocket up here, maybe in there, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. Do you have my phone? And oh, wait a minute. No, it's back here. It's back here. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, and people are in a panic, or they'll let you take their phone to see a picture. And then they're like, okay, I'll take it back now. It's like, we're so attached that I start to feel like, man, like I feel like we need some separation. We need some just good old fashioned, like sit down and just listen and just look and take a car ride and just look out the window at, the pastures, or take a look at the city skyline or whatever, right? Like we're not aware anymore. We're not paying attention. So yeah, I am an old school. Nope. Thank you, Derek. Don't forget to take a sip. Thank you for telling me that. Justin, I'm on keto, but I have pizza once. Nice. Yeah. I think, I think it's, if you know that you can do that every now and then I think you don't feel as though you are never going to have that again. Right. So there's not that fear of like, oh, I'm never going to be able to eat that again. If you want it, you can have it. You just got to be, you got to be, smart about it. I had on actually, Abel James, who actually started a podcast about 10 years ago called The Fat Burning Man. And, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. The Fat Burning Man. And, I just had him as a guest. He'll be coming on probably in about 4 or 5 weeks. Really good guy. It talks all about, he's actually, I think he's friends with Dave Asprey from Bulletproof. So he's big on that. And he was talking about keto and all of that. So, but keto, yeah, we won't get into that. There's so many different versions, I guess, right? Or opinions on that. I'm not following, I guess, a protocol. I'm just eating a lot of just whole foods. I'm not having breads. Yeah, just, you know what I mean? Like I'm just eggs, some meat every now and then, not all the time. I will have some good fish, some salmon, that stuff. But yeah, I'm just trying to, I don't know. I've just got these little boundaries, but not like super, super strict. And I will have a beer, right? I'm not going to say I'm never going to do that. It was funny because Abel said, you can have pizza. You just can't have the whole pizza, right? Like you got to be smart. Derek, how did you keep your, is it broccoli? I think broccoli from going bad so quickly. I buy it in less than a week. It's bad. A lot of it's frozen. I do frozen. I get a good organic frozen. And then what I'll do is I'll just let it thaw a little bit and then I'll saute it. It's not as crispy or like a little crunch, but it's still good enough. So that's kind of what I do. And I like to get it a little, once it's starting to get like about the point where you're going to get ready to eat it, I kick up the heat a little bit. I give it a little bit of a grill. You know what I mean? Like I just give it a little bit more of a, so it's not so like watery. Let's see. Geo, Scott, how do you balance kids and business when you were starting your Amazon business? Okay. Well, I think this goes with any business, not just an Amazon business. Okay. So let's just clarify that one, Geo. Because I've built, a few different businesses while having kids. And so it always looks like this. I'm going to schedule time that dad is working and time that he's not, right? So if I feel like if I'm working a full-time job and I'm trying to build my business on the side, then I'm going to sacrifice some sleep, even though I know that it's not going to be the best thing for me. I need to sacrifice somewhere. So I either have to get up an hour early or I have to go to bed an hour late. And I've done that. Okay. I've done that in the past. Now I'm fortunate enough now that I don't do that, right? I shut it off the best that I can, but yeah, it's not easy. It's structure. It's structure in creating the time and the schedule to stick to. That's the important thing. You need to map it out. I mean, hour by hour. If you do have a full-time job, that's easy. During those, those points that you're at the job, well, you have to figure out what's the other availability. Well, if the kids are around when you get home and you want to spend 2-3 hours with them, then do that. But then it's like 9 o'clock, kids got to go to bed, right? And now you're going to work from 9 to 11, something like that. I'm Italian. This is a big problem for my weight. Yeah. I'm telling you what, I'm not Italian, but a lot of times I say I wish I was, because I love just good, authentic Italian food. It's my weakness. Love it. I stay away from bread and eat little or no sugar a day. Healthy eating is important. I just got to start exercising more. Yeah. And you know what, Derek? One thing at a time, right? Like just install like a walk every single day. Just make sure you do it 10 minutes. Just do a 10-minute walk, right? Just be like, you know what? I can't commit to 30 minutes, but I'm going to commit to 10 minutes and just do 10 minutes. And then that 10 minutes will turn into 15 minutes, right? That's how it works. But just start installing with one small thing, the tiny habit. Yes, the Aura Ring. That's exactly what it is, Salama. Rebecca, what's up? Hey, everyone. I got in late, but I'll watch in the playlist. Okay, cool. Oh, reminding people of that. If you want to watch the other coffee talks, it'll either be in the description of this or it will be here if you're watching this on a replay on YouTube. I'll put a playlist there. Eat the frog, Kate says. Yeah, last night I kind of wanted to. That thing was really, really making a lot of noise. Crickets are distracting too. They are. They are. Let's see here. Beryl. The best thing about COVID is there are so many birds around now, even in the city. There are birds that are usually only see in the bush coming for a visit. It would be nice if they hang around. Yeah, I agree. It's funny because even 10 years ago, I wasn't a bird guy, right? I wasn't like a bird person, but I'm really fascinated by birds right now. I have so many different colored birds. I don't even know what I probably should start to identify them. My wife's pretty good at it. There's like yellow ones. There's obviously the cardinals that come in, the blue jays, the robins, like all of the typical ones. There's some really interesting ones that I've never seen before. So I really love that. We have a lot of deer here too. I love the deer. I love it. I'm literally like sometimes 10 feet away from a deer. They don't move. I'll be sitting there at the pool and they'll just walk up on the top of our hill. So I love the nature side of things. Speaking of that, I'm probably going to go out and sit by the pool today and just chill and just enjoy it. Gio, when we get to see you perform with your rock band, maybe at BCA. Yeah, well, if there's there won't be one this year, but if we have it next year, which we are planning on it, but we got to play this whole thing as it comes. But yeah, I would love to do some type of even just a short set of something. That would be fun. That would be fun. Have you started opening businesses in your or have they started opening businesses in your area? Yeah, they have. And I just think it's too soon, to be honest with you. I'm not going in there. I did go into our local grocery store a week ago, and I just went in and stayed clear of everyone, put my mask on, and yeah, and just as soon as I got out, had my wipes, got my wipes. So I'm just not taking any chances. But yeah, they have. I mean, I don't think everyone, like even Chick-fil-A, they haven't opened their dining area yet, but they do have where you can go through the drive-through. Kate, I've been playing Cover Your Assets with my 3 teenage kids, hours and hours. Really fun. It's a card game. Highly recommend it. Oh, that's cool. Is it just a game that you play with an ordinary deck of cards? Or is it something that you would have to purchase as the game? I'm just curious. I would love to try that. Sounds fun. Iva in the house. God, I had to come home when the street lights came on. LOL. Nice. Iva, glad to see you. Derek, our phones are now part of our bodies. We feel lost without it. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Feel the same about technology. Very old school too. Yeah. It's funny because, man, I used to make fun of my father just about the way that he was, and now I'm turning into him. You ever feel like that? You ever feel like you're starting to turn into your parents, or at least some of their traits? Which I don't care. My father's a good man, so I'm okay with that. Oh, Lydia, try freezing pineapple spears. Makes a great popsicle. That does sound good. You know what we have done is we freeze grapes. So at night, I might have, like, I don't know, a little mini bowl of them. I really like them. I don't like to eat a lot of sugary fruits. So I'll just, my half a banana in my shake is about all the fruit that I'm having right now. I will have an apple occasionally. Pineapple, I would have it. I just wouldn't have it all that much, but it sounds delicious. And I was just trying to think here. Oh, have you guys ever heard of for grapes? There's actually a cotton candy grape. I didn't know that. My son's girlfriend told us about that. We started getting them, and they're amazing. They taste like cotton candy. It's crazy. Have you ever heard of them? I lose my phone so often. Beryl says, yeah, my wife tends to do that every now and then too. And then she's like, can you call it? And I'm like, yes. Pizza sounds so good right now. It does. And it was good last night. Derek, working a full-time job, leave very little time in a day. I lose a lot of sleep trying to get something done. Derek, your best friend is going to be planning and scheduling. So take an hour and plan out your week. And I'm telling you what, you'll be so much more on point. You'll be so much more productive. All right. I have fun with my puppies. Booked in my diary for every day at 3:30 p.m. Awesome. Yeah, that's a great thing. And I'll tell you what, that's the other thing with my dogs, which, well, yeah, Maisie's over here laying down. You can't even see her, but she's laying right there. And Brody might be out in the other room. But every morning, like, I go up and just give them a good petting and give them some kisses and just rub them and just sit with them for a minute. Cause we don't realize it, but they really enjoy that. Right. And for me, it's relaxing and it makes me feel good because I'm in their world for a little bit. And yeah, so we'll let them out back. We got a little, gated area for them and stuff, and they can go out and play, take them for walks and stuff. So yeah, I agree. I think that's another great thing. Before you chill, get your chores done. Yeah. Thanks, Karen. It's kind of like the honey-do list. Although I put this honey-do list on myself, my wife didn't really say, oh, make sure you clean the deck, and oh, make sure. It's just things that I've been wanting to do, and I've just been putting them off. Although yesterday I did get a couple of those checked off my list as well. I trimmed a few shrubs in the back where the dogs are and stuff. And again, it's funny how things just they come full circle. I used to want to get away from doing that stuff. Now I look forward to it because it gets me out of the office. It gets me out of this environment. And I get outside in, just the elements, whether they're good or bad. Yesterday I was sweating. And then after I got done, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a dip in the pool. And I did, and it was awesome. So yeah, thanks for reminding me, Karen. Why did you decide to live in this state in US? Oh, South Carolina. We're looking at North Carolina and South Carolina. One of the biggest reasons was we heard a lot of people, even when we were in our photography studio, people were saying that they were moving to North Carolina. They loved it. Great, great place, great people, and taxes, and just you can get a lot of house for the money. And so we just always kind of wanted to see it. And then so we took a trip and we actually fell in love with it. North Carolina and South Carolina, but we're just on the border of South and North Carolina, about 30 minutes from Charlotte itself. But the weather, no snow. I mean, we get like a dusting every now and then. We didn't get really any this year. So weather and taxes, to be quite honest with you, paying a third of the taxes that I paid in New York State. I grew up in New York State. I was there for over 40 years. Yeah. So love it. Great place, great views in the mountains. But yeah, I'm loving it here. Kate, cover your assets, card game that you have to purchase Amazon. Oh, cool. I'm going to look it up. Derek, don't forget to wash all your fruits and vegetables. Yeah, great tip there. Karen, I had a cotton candy, or have had the cotton candy grapes. They are so good. In our house, they are eaten within an hour. LOL. My daughter freezes soy vanilla yogurt in popsicles for my granddaughter, and she loves them. Yeah, we've actually did that for the dogs. We actually put some, my daughter did this too. Blueberries, strawberries, a little bit of Greek yogurt, and then blended it and then put them into little ice cube trays and then broke them up and then give them those for a little snack. Gio, have you been lifting more weights? Your guns look bigger than before. No, your workouts plan like at the gym. Okay, so no, I haven't really. The only thing I've been doing, I have been lifting, but just not like I go out and I lift. The whole thing that I've been doing is I've been, and you guys heard me talk about it here on the Coffee Talks, is doing the tiny habits. So what I do is I do some type of weights, lifting. Very, very. It's not like a big deal though. So what I do is like when my first cup of coffee is brewing through the Keurig machine, I run out in the garage and I've got my setup in there, and then I'll just do one set of curls or one set of bench or one set of lat pull downs or whatever. And I just do a full set to basically, I do it till failure. And then that's it. I'm fried. And then I come in, I hit my next, because I do like 2 cups in this big cup, is what I do. So then I put my second one in, hit the button. And then what I'll do is I'll do some ground stuff. So I'll do like, a plank, and then I'll do like maybe a side reach and then another side reach for 25 for 25. And then I finish it off with 20 push-ups, and that's it. If I feel a little, bit like I want to go and do like a full workout, then I'll go out in the garage and do a full workout, but maybe once a week. That's it. So it's basically consistently doing the push-ups in the morning, do my walks, and then I do some type of weight training set in the morning when I'm doing my coffee. And that's it. That's it. So yeah, hopefully that helped. Let's see. Karen, I love Charlotte. I live there. The people are awesome. Yeah, it's a great city. New York City is so expensive. It is, as California is too. I hope my daughters live in the world free of racism. I do too. And I think that, again, Derek, I think we have to think that we can turn this around, and this is happening for a reason. And this is what will help change this. I'm hopeful that it will, and I will do everything in my power and control on what I can do to help that situation 100%. And if that's just listening, to, my Black friends and just hearing more and understanding more and putting myself in their shoes. And then understanding, I think, is the biggest thing. And then from there, what can we do to really help the young people and let the young people know that there isn't and there shouldn't be any difference in the world. So yes, I agree with you, and 100% I am on board, and I want to do whatever I can. And I do believe it starts with in the home, and then from there, what we do outside the home, and the actions that we take. So I agree 100%. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap up this coffee talk. Scott's got some chores to do, And Scott's got to finish the coffee. And we will be picking up tomorrow and doing another coffee talk. And let me know, what did you want to talk about? Did you want to talk about content creation? Did you want to talk about email list building? Did you want to talk about traffic? What do you want to talk about? Let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to address them in an upcoming coffee talk. You guys have been awesome. I just want to say thank you guys. Stay positive. Understand that, again, John Gordon, who said this, we have two dogs. We have the negative dog, or the angry dog, and the positive dog, right? And whatever we feed is going to win. So let's feed that positive dog. Let's feed the positive mind, right? And I know that we can do just really, really great things in our own life, but in the world. And just really understand that we are living this life, and it's not that long. And I don't want to sound negative on that at all. It's a positive thing. So let's think about what we're able to do while we're here, and to live and to impact. And even if that's impacting just our own family and our own kids, what can we do with this time that we're so fortunate to have? So anyway, guys, have an awesome, amazing day. Again, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. I can already see a few coming in here: email list building, content building, talk about content creation, all of that stuff. So that is what we will probably most likely be talking about coming up here. But if you guys have anything else you want me to talk about, just let me know. And that way there, I can help you guys. All right. And yeah, we'll get out there and have an amazing Sunday. And until next time, take care, take action. I'll talk to you soon. Stay positive, my friends. Stay positive. Bye, guys.